All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight is playoff race number 1 of 4, season race number, what are we at? 9 of 12. I also had to do some numbers there. That gets scary. But yeah, so we have our regular season completed. We are now kicking off our playoffs. And again, it's going to be the top 16 drivers in the points after those first 8 races with one drop week. I say we do have, unfortunately, have a few playoff drivers not able to make it here this evening. And we also did have one driver open up his position due to being unable to make all the playoff races. So we were able to add one driver, add a driver to it, technically, if I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and show you who those drivers are as we speak. And these are our 16, technically 17 drivers here. So it will be Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, Jacob Lee, Jack Walls. We got Charles Johnson, Rick Sanchez, Dean Wilkinson, Jason Bogart, Austin Call, Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, Ryan Decker, Bob Fitzgerald, Eric Laurie, Nicholas Wing, Hondo Longmire, and Frank Ranger Jr. Those drivers not in any particular order. That's just kind of how it was sorted through on OBS. And actually, I think, nope. Yeah, no particular order, but that's just how it's lined up. It looks like it might be sorted by wins and so on and so forth, though. But so those are going to be our championship contenders. As you can see, points are all reset to 2,000. No bonus points for any wins, anything like that. Everybody resets to 0, and it's going to be a 4-race playoff. So for tonight, 90 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Should be, I believe, a 2-stop race on fuel, if I heard correctly from some of the drivers. And of course, then we still have all those bonus points that will come into play tonight. So pole position, a bonus point there. A lap led is another bonus point. Most laps led, a bonus point, as well as highest climber getting the most positions in the race, also a bonus point gained. And then if you can have an incident-free race, that will turn into 2 bonus points for those drivers. So all those little numbers, they do add up. We had some really close points battles, especially on Thursday to even make the playoffs. 2 drivers, unfortunately, fell out by 1 single point. So that's just how tight things can be. And I said that's going to be what we see here tonight, I think, and for the rest of this playoffs as well, as it could come down to a bonus point. So it'll be a lot of fun to see. And of course, need to mention as well, you'll see, I'll pull up our timing ticker here on the top. Saying for the names roll through, what that means is that those drivers whose names are showing up as they come across, those will be the drivers that are currently in the playoffs when they're highlighted in green. And if they're not highlighted in green, those drivers are not in the playoffs. But again, definitely expect to see some of those drivers not in playoffs vying for the wins here this evening. So should be a lot of fun. 1 fast pair, 3 green-white checkers available for these drivers to see who will come out on top this evening. And somewhere hiding around here is my esteemed colleague, Matt Wagner. I say he's been doing some admin work on the open wheel side of things for Tuesday night. And it looks like we've got about a minute left here in qualifying. And it looks like we've had roughly, it's like about 11 trucks put down a lap so far. And looks like from 12th on back here, looks like these guys might be opting to start towards the back, and might be one of those decisions that we talked about. These drivers opting to maybe try to get that highest climber award. Could be what we're seeing here tonight on that strategy side of things.
So hello.
And once more, we'll pull up those 16 drivers, Matt. So say Atlanta, it's definitely a tricky season opener. 1.5-mile track. You can technically go 3 wide, but it's kind of one of those ones you really want to limit, I feel like, at this place.
Yeah, you'll want to limit pretty much your 3 wides here, probably until our 5 to go, 3 to go. It's understandable. We have seen it on the real side of things, but those guys have more testicular fortitude, as you would say. But
and they don't have to deal with net code either.
Oh yeah, that's too.
That's the only reason.
That's the scary side of things.
We can be brave because say we don't get hurt, but they can be brave because they don't have to worry about net code and wrecking everybody. But it looks like with that, Matt, qualifying just having completed here. So while these guys are going to start getting gridded up here, we'll go ahead and pull up our starting grid for tonight's event. and it will be on pole position. Talk about those bonus points. First bonus point in the playoffs going to go to Gabe Butler by 0.02 of a second over Rick Sanchez. Austin Cole, third, Eric Laurie, fourth, Ryan Decker rounds out our top 5. And then you got Jack Walls, Bud Steele, Jason Bogart, Nick Wing, and Ambrose Nabel. And then you go down 11th, you got Frank Ranger Jr., and then Seth Gruber, the first of those not to qualify. And then continuing on, D.L. Lemon, Charles Johnson, Jacob Lee, Bob Fitzgerald, Todd Siebels, Hondo Longmire, and Tom Dixon will be our 19 trucks taking part in tonight's event. Like I said, unfortunately, a few trucks not here this evening. I say notably, the couple I'm noticing right off the bat, though, Matt, will be the 55, Dean Wilkinson, 51 of Jim Brooks. I know I'm not unable to make it. Kevin Freeze in the 25. So right off the bat, a couple playoff contenders not here tonight. So again, if you're in the playoffs, that's great news for you because it's less people to possibly have to contend with. And as you can see, the ticker rolling across the top of your screen, all those highlighted in green, those are the playoff drivers there. And then once we switch to the vertical ticker, you'll see all those drivers highlighted as well. But right now, Matt, what I'm seeing is the top 7 positions, and actually it should be Jason Bogart as well to see why his isn't coming up correctly. His name should be highlighted in green, so mistake there, I believe. I thought I saw his name in there, so possibly a mistake on my part.
As my boy Ricky would say, that's unacceptable.
So I'm going to double check to make sure and that's the case.
And we're rolling.
Yep, drivers are rolling out of the pits now. And yep, there is Jason Bogart. So yeah, not 100% accurate on my timing and scoring here. Apologies for that. I will try to see if I can figure out a way to get that fixed when we have a moment. Might just be a typo on his driver ID. It's one of those things you have to pull the iRacing driver ID. So that might be what it is. We'll see if maybe the other ticker has it showing correctly. But with that said, though, I mean, that actually means now the top 8 in qualifying are actually drivers that are in the playoffs here. Actually, top 9, it looks like when you add Nicholas Wings, too. So, say a very playoff-dominated group here so far. And it looks like 18 of the 19 trucks here on the track to take the green.
Speaking of, I'm trying to get my camera set it up.
But yeah, so Matt, 90 laps here. Again, a little longer race because of the distance of this track. These guys were knocking out those 75 laps like it was nothing. So we had to make some changes and get it squared away. So, so it's going to be 90 laps here led by Gabe Butler. 1 fast repair available to the drivers. 3 green-white checkered attempts potentials. And it's going to be Gabe Butler leading Rick Sanchez on the outside. Austin Call, Eric Laurie, row number 2 as they head to the start-finish line. And the green flag getting ready to wave. Green flag is out, and we are down and away here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Race 1 of the playoffs underway. Pretty big breakaway there from that first lane. Little bobble there. And you saw a big move by Ryan Decker jumping to the top.
Yeah, so we did see a slow start by the 04 of Ambrose Kniebel there. Pretty much backed up that top line, but they are starting to make a comeback there, Gaio.
Yeah, so there's a big push from the 48, and it's going to be a drag race to the line, but looks like I believe Richard Sanchez is going to lead lap 1, so that's a bonus point for the 510 truck. And now you know that the 88 is going to want to try to get a lap lead as well. Again, kind of maximize all the bonus points he can. Obviously, Gabe, one of those ones. He won the regular season here pretty decisively. But obviously, everything being reset to 0, it really doesn't matter at that point. As you see, great move there by Richard here. Jumps to the inside line. He's going to clear the inside lane, and he'll be able to kind of take control of this race at the moment. As you see him leading that 88 on the inside, the 48 to the outside here, starting lap number 3.
Still, I think that top group is the preferred line on this racetrack.
I feel like it's not as dominant, though, I must say. It really depends on the pusher, I think, more so here at Atlanta.
Yeah, you could be right.
I do agree with you. A lot of times that second lane is definitely the place to be for trying to win these races. You see Eric Laurie, he's going to maybe think, nope, he's going to drop a line. Thought about the third lane for a split second, but drops back in line because this again everything it just feels like everything happens just that much quicker here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. With it being a 1.5 mile track, you see Gabe Butler now he clears the outside line and he wants to again jump back up front, try to take control of this race in the 88. And once again, right now it's kind of Ryan Decker's Mr. Pusher so far early on in this one in that 48 truck. So he's going to hope that maybe he can get that push here later on. As you see, there goes the 88 back to the front. As he gets another lap led now, Eric Laurie's going to lock onto the back of that 48. And let's hop on top of that number 071 of Eric Laurie. Look in the back of that Sensi Toyota Tundra here. Same Caitlin, I'm sure, watching, supporting her husband Ryan as he gets a good push here down the back. He's going to just be a nose short on the entry. We'll see what the exit of turn 4 looks like. As again, Eric just a little bobble there behind that 48.
Meanwhile, 3 wide. Ooh, just a little bit of scrape of the wall by the 10 car there. And it's still going.
Oh, they hang on to it. Yeah, it was a close call there for Jason Bogart there, Nick Wing, Bud Steele, but they get it all sorted out there. So while we're watching up front, but yeah, so it doesn't matter where you are. There's a lot happening, and I think that's what you're seeing a little further back here, right around DL Lemon. These guys are saying, you know what? There's a lot of racing left to go. There's bonus points that can be had for having an incident-free race here. Let's not go full tilt here. I mean, again, you look at the timing of scoring, you see Hondo Longmire's there, Jacob Lee, Frank Ranger Jr. So I think these guys are definitely kind of big picture racing here early on. I would expect the same from Bob Fitzgerald as well in that 08 truck. He just kind of usually, he likes to bide his time before he really makes the charge here later on. So it'll be fun to see kind of when these guys decide to try to make their moves forward. But right now, though, you see Ryan once again trying to work that second lane. He's got help from Eric. It's a little bit, again, just not able to stay quite tucked up on each other there through the tri-oval. And it's just tough. Like I said, Matt, these things, it's not like at Daytona Talladega. That tri-oval's, it's a little scary with these trucks as fast as they're going. And look at Gabe here. He sees the momentum going. He's like, no, I'm going to pick up that 48 truck, see if I can push myself a little further ahead.
I think Ryan Decker's getting tired of pushing everybody to the lead there.
Yeah, I think at some point he's hoping he can find a pusher to work with him, but hasn't found one yet. But I am looking at, we got a little bit of a different setup here on the inside line now, though. You've got Austin Call there, who is running where he started in that third spot, now trying to work on getting second around Gabe Butler. But then Nick Wing working his way to the inside line there in that 28, in that really nice X-side truck there, the 28 truck. So I say it's starting to spread out a little bit. You see Rick now, he's cleared.
Yeah.
The 64 Boston Call's cleared. So it's starting to kind of shake up a little bit how they were running 2x2. It's starting to even up a little bit. And again, that might be some tire wear starting to take into account here as well, Matt, because you can't run balls to the wall here all the way through. You will start to either get tight on entry, loose on exit, just depending on how you drive these trucks. So about a third of the way here through this first fuel run, about 30 laps or so should roughly be the fuel number. I was hearing maybe 32 from a few drivers. So I believe that'll make it a two-stop race.
Yeah, I've learned last time we raced here, I want to be right where Richard Sanchez is. No dirty air to contend with. Oh, it looks like they're going to gang up on Richard here.
Well, I say this is a good combo right here. Austin Call and Nick Wing. These two work very well together. But now look at Bud Steele, Jack Walls. They've moved their way further up now in the inside lane. Again, just one driver changes lanes and it just shakes up the whole running order of where these guys are. But right now, though, it's a nose, almost a nose ahead for that 64. This might be the momentum, the push he needs to lead that lap, and it will be give a lap led to that 64 Domino's truck of Austin Call. So you want to be where Rick is in the 510?
Yes,
Matt,
I do.
I want to be where about Hondo is here. I've got two guys behind me I trust. Jacob Lee, Todd Siebels. I like where Hondo is. It feels safer there. You're single file. You've got a couple car lengths in front of you. You don't have to worry about what's going on right on your door or anything like that. Like, I feel safer. You can kind of run the track a little bit more. Also take care of your tires. I just feel like that truck's going to work better the longer the run goes on here. So if you can be that 510, I'm going to be rolling the 43 truck right now as where our strategies would be at this point. That said, though, we've got a couple fans here tonight. We've got a fan of that 10 of Jason Bogart right now sitting in about the top 8 position there in that green Ford. Or, no, actually, I'm sorry, not Ford. That is a Chevy Silverado. I'll say apologies to those. I know there's some pretty big brand loyalty. Also, of course, Caitlin, like I mentioned, supporting Ryan there in that 48 truck. And then a rooting on that 510 of Rick Sanchez as well. So always appreciate you guys chiming in, supporting your drivers. Like I said, it also lets us steal a little bit of TV time for your favorite drivers. So by all means, feel free to chime in. Let us know who you want to see and who you're rooting for. And we will definitely try to get a look at their wonderful paint schemes that these guys are able to put in week out in this sim.
Speaking of paint schemes, our defending actually Atlanta winner is in the 21 car of Jacob Lee, just kind of hanging out, just behind this time, right behind Hondo, Right
really nice Mission 22 paint scheme, though, especially with it being obviously Veterans Day weekend. So really good looking scheme out of that 22. And I know that's definitely one close to a lot of our friends' hearts as well with the Mission 22. You and I both knowing a few drivers that would support that sponsorship and support the charity as well. So really cool to see Jacob doing that tonight.
Meanwhile, back at the front, it's getting a little bit dicey there.
Yeah, it's pretty tight with these two right now as they run here. So I got another Jason Bogart fan chiming in. So say right now, 4th truck on the inside line here, right behind that number 83 of Jack.
There.
Yeah, that was a little close to our entry. I think these guys are starting to get a little uncomfortable. You see Bud Steele there dropping a little bit low. Again, that's okay to do right now. Let's say he wasn't making a pass below the yellow line. It was basically just try to keep that truck safe and not wash up into anybody else. So you'll see from time to time, again, there is no passing to gain a position below that red and white line. However, you can go down there a little bit to kind of make sure you're being safe and not drifting up into another truck, things like that. It would be like in a situation here, like if the 510 cut left through the tri-oval underneath the 64, that would be more of a considered passing under the yellow. And that's what these guys are trying to avoid. As you see Nick Wing, he's going to take the point. He gets to the bottom here as we're approaching lap number 20 here in just a few more laps, Matt. So pit stop's about to loom here very, very large. Again, we talked about probably about 30 laps on fuel, and we're already 2/3 of the way through this fuel run with as quick of a pace as these guys are setting. And now Gabe Butler going back to the front, or trying to get back to the front, and once again help from Ryan Decker in that 48. He's, like I said, he's Mr. Pusher tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to get up front because he wants to be in and out of the pits quick.
And that's the thing is, yeah, I mean, again, you look at the ticker on the left, it's not a big difference, but if you can pit at the front versus pitting where, let's say, Todd Siebo's DL11 are, it's a 2-second difference that can make or break if you're in this lead pack here if we get to green flag pit stops. So there's a reason why you want to try to be at the front, which you see Gabe has gotten right back to it. So now we'll see Ken. And I think actually at that line there, I think Ryan may have led that lap there for the 48 truck. Ooh, and I think I may have seen a little contact possibly by the 17 or 08. I'm not sure if they caught the right side of the truck into the wall. The trucks look pretty shiny still. I think they got away with it, but looked like a moment there as you see Ryan Decker here does clear Gabe Butler. Now he'll get to the bottom. And this is great timing for Ryan here because, again, you know he's going to want to make sure he can be as far up as he can come pit stop time. And now, no question, Ryan Decker leads this lap here, starting lap number 21.
Yeah, some of these drivers.
Oh, we got one on the apron.
We got truck loose on the bottom. Oh!
Big stack of caution is out. There's the 83 of Jack Walls. Jason Bogart. Oh, he gets hit by the 10. And you see a few trucks having to try to take quick action. Oh, my goodness. There's a couple really close calls there. Unfortunately, Jason Bogart got a piece. Jack Walls, the 28 as well, of Nick Wing. I think that may have been about where it started. And, yeah, just kind of right where we were talking about getting towards that pit window. I think these trucks started getting a little unsettled here. We'll focus on Nick Wing to see did that truck just get loose, or did he have maybe a little bit of help?
He caught the apron ever so slightly with his.
Yeah, you see right there.
Look at the left front there, right on the apron right there. Just kind of upset the car, and around she goes.
Look at the quick reaction by Seth Groover jumping high. Austin Call just tries to stomp on the brakes, a little bit of contact, and then the stack up behind there. You see Bud Steele into him, Jack Walls into him, and then the 10 of Jason Bogart into Jack. And again, that's the according effect. There's just not much you can do. You see the 08 here. He's going to try to sneak to the outside here. But you see the 10, the 83, they're around there. The 56 just sneaks by to the outside.
That was a great save by the 28 car, by the way.
Oh, the 10 almost had it cleared, and then the 17 just nowhere for him to go. But the truck I was watching, I was saying that some of the drivers are, the chat was talking about him just a second ago, was Honda Longmire. Because right here, everything looks good. But then watch the 10 truck. He's still trying to save that thing. And Honda has to go all the way, just kiss the inside wall to make sure he doesn't make any contact with that
Ouch.
10. And that's going to get everybody clear through. Pit stops are going underway now as the field is all on pit road. Ryan Decker looks like he's going to win that race off of pit road. And the question I'm going to have, Matt, is going to be 2 or 4. And it looks like a resounding 4 tires for the field here. Nobody wanting to risk those 2 tires here early on. And now it's all about, of course, damage for some trucks here, looking to see. Ambrose Nabel had a little longer stop, 22 seconds, so a little bit of damage. Austin Call still sitting on pit road. He's limping about 30, almost 40 seconds on pit road for damage repairs. Jack Walls, Bud Steele getting their damage repaired as well. So I think everybody's trying to save that fast repair as we talk about. It's obviously a really critical thing to keep because you never know. And Jacob Lee here as well. And I'll say there he goes. He's going to drop down now just about a minute on pit road. And then I think, yeah, there goes Jack Wall. So that's going to complete the field. They're all going to roll out back onto the lead lap here. Nobody should be trapped a lap down. Oh, actually, I see. I'm trying to see if Frank Ranger Jr. here. He's showing right now tail end of the lead lap. And I think he's going to get trapped a lap down because I believe he's going to get the end along this line for, I think he may have pitted under closed pits. Waiting to see. Yes, as I say, we talk about the timing of the yellows always maybe throwing a wrench into things, but so we'll see. Right now, Frank Ranger Jr. showing tail end of the lead lap in the 17. I believe it would likely either have him wave around or go behind the field. You see there he's going to roll around the pace car, so we'll see. I'll say the admins will have to take care of that one, get it squared away, but what we have now, Matt, is the 48 of Ryan Decker controlling this race here, 88 of Gabe Butler behind or next to him. Then you got row 2 Eric Laurie. And then we haven't talked about Charles tonight. Charles Johnson, he's been pretty quiet tonight. Now he sits all of a sudden in the 4th position. And then you got Bob Fitzgerald and Richard Sanchez in row number 3. So a few trucks topping off on that one to go, including Seth Groover. And then Todd Siebel's DL Lemon rolling out of pit road now. And actually, Jason Bogart back on pit road. He's going to have to hustle around here to catch the field. So we're about to get going, though.
Looks like Frank Ranger got the way around, but they better hustle.
Yeah, same thing. You see the 56 as well, trying to get lined up correctly here. So we'll jump back up front because the pace truck's about to pull off. There it goes. Now wait for that restart zone before that 48 most likely goes. As I'm watching the 10-2, he is hustling around the back of this truck, the truck right now around the track here, trying to get back to field. Like he might actually just get there. So this could be good for Jason Bogart.
Yeah, he's going to catch him.
So good job by Jason.
Full song by the time he gets up to, he's fine.
So hop on the back here of that number 48 of Ryan Decker. So he's even got a QR scan me code here. So I don't know if you could put your phones up to that, if it would come through or not. But say if you ever want to support Ryan's wife's Scentsy store, that is where you can do it. So he's trying to rep her. I know she's sometimes his biggest supporter, and sometimes his kind of gives him a hard time too, because she'll mention like, hey, you didn't do well because you weren't repping my paint scheme. So I say Ryan's gone back to it, and I mean he's got a lap lead. He's leading right now, still a long ways to go, but hopefully that's a sign of things to come for him. But right now you got the 88 and the 9 locked on pretty good, man. You talk about that outside line being where you want it to be. It's looking pretty good for Gabe and Charles right now. And Jamie, I would love to sign your baby. Your people get a hold of my people later, and we'll make sure we get that baby autographed.
No autographing babies, Gael.
I mean, if baby needs to be signed, baby needs to be signed. But right now, though, Matt, we do have a bit of a split in the field here. So you got the top 15 together, but then you got Jason Bogart, DL Lemon, Frank Ranger. They're kind of all stuck back here now, about 3 seconds back and growing. And again, I think some of these trucks lingering some damage. I can definitely see the front clip of that the 10 truck a little bit off, the rear end a little bit damaged as well, but. Jumping up front because I believe Charles Johnson just led that lap in that number 9 Napa machine, as now he's got help from that 510 of Rick Sanchez. And creeping into the mix, I see a couple teammates working their way forward here, Matt. That's the 43-21 here. Maybe trying to get that bonus point we talked about because, again, you never know how that's going to come into play. So I think these guys think this could be a good time to make that charge towards the front with Hondo Longmire and Jacob Lee.
If Honda's going to make a statement, the time is now. Push that 510 truck up to the lead. Hopefully the 510 drops to the bottom and you get your teammate right behind him. Push him all the way up to the lead.
Yeah, but right now that inside line working very well together here. The 88 and the 9, say two drivers very familiar with one another. Raced many seasons. Oh, I saw one down the apron there. Ambrose Nabel, I believe it is. Yeah, he's going to slide through. He's going to go onto pit road here. Won't bring out a caution as he went off track. We'll go back. We'll take a quick look at this here to see if he just got loose here or not. And so we're focusing on that 04. And yeah, you see once again, Matt caught that yellow line there in the apron, and it's saying it just sends him down into the grass, and that's what happened to him. So he's on pit road now, getting some tires. Probably will be an unsafe entry as well, so he's going to get a stop and hold as well. So a tough break for the 04. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, man, that outside line, it kind of fizzled while we went back and watched that, Matt, because, I mean, we've got an inside line trend going right now. It looks like Hondo and Jacob want to try to make it happen still in that second lane, but right now it's just 2 against, it looks like about, 6 right now.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be rough for Hondo, and especially the 21 there, trying to make their way forward. Going to need some help behind him. It's only 2 trucks up to the top now. Everybody else is just hanging on the bottom of the track. But I do see Seth Groover back there. If he can get to the back of the 21, maybe they can make some happen here. We'll see.
Yeah, Seth's always a really good pusher, and eventually someone's going to start to get antsy and want to move a little bit further forward. But, I mean, they are starting to pull a little bit here, slowly but steady, about maybe a truck a lap or so. And like you said, I mean, these are 2 trucks that'll, like I said, I know they're sharing a Discord, but right there, those are the little things right there, that little separation through the tri-wall. That's where you do need to try to stay as tight to each other. Even if you're not pushing, you want to try to stay tight on them because that momentum is just going to keep helping. And, yeah, here comes Seth, though, Matt, just like you said. And so that third truck is going to play a big role here in helping them hopefully get to the front.
Look at the push by Jacob there. Surgeon, that was a big gain there by the 43.
So right now it looks like Hondo's going to come through here out of turn 4. He's going to be in second place at the line. He's going to be hoping for one more good lap of pushing to try to get that 43 truck to the front. And I know some people are talking about the back, and I saw the sponsorship here, so let's hop on board here because there you go. Import Logic Performance and Apparel Company on the back of that Toyota Tundra saying, they want to get their TV time here, and they want to see that TV time with that 43 getting a lap led as well. So we focus on Jacob Lee trying to see if he can push this 43 to the front. Won't be this lap here, but once again there you can see just a little bobble there, Matt, as they try to get lined up there. And the tri-oval is definitely where they seem to just be a little bit uncomfortable, I guess is the best way to put it. But now here goes Jacob. He's going to try to get right to the bumper out of turn 2. Now he's going to lock on and push him as far as he can down the back. Again, a little uncentered there, and that's where he rolls out of it to make sure that he doesn't push him off-centered in the corner, because that's definitely where bad things can happen there.
Oh yeah, especially if you hit a driver in the right rear. It's not ideal.
But that's a lap led though for that 43 truck. I believe did have the lead at the line, so job done for Hondo. Gets that bonus point. Again, some of those drivers, they're thinking also about those 2 bonus points if they can go incident free all race long. And you see actually the 02 there, or sorry, the 32 of Seth Groover, he's actually dropped back to the bottom here. He decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and kind of take my stuff a little bit easier, save my stuff a little bit longer. But now I'm curious to see. Oh, close there between the 071 and the 21. But I'm curious to see, do these guys? Yeah, and I think there's your answer. I think they're gonna go ahead and drop back a little bit as well. And maybe it might even be here, Matt. Do they switch positions? Say, okay, I got my lap. Let's get the 21 out front.
Yeah, that'd be something great. I think, yeah, I think that's exactly the plan here. Maybe.
It looks like Jacob's going to let Honda slot in from what I can tell. Yep, there goes Honda. So we'll see. Do we see them swap spots, or maybe they're just say, okay, we got one. Let's go ahead and regroup. But yeah, right now everybody's kind of settled in a little bit, like we talked about. We've got a 14 truck pack right now. Todd Siebel's kind of rolling the back. I'll say this is what Todd Siebel's does. He just kind of chills and waits to make his move later on in the race. Tries to keep that truck in clean condition until the very end. We mentioned that further back pack, if you will, the 17, 10, and 56. They're about 13 seconds off the main pack, running about a second a lap slower. Right now, just about almost on the dot, about a half a lap behind. Then we mentioned, unfortunately, the 04 of Ambrose Nabel there. He is on track here, still running. He is right now 2 laps down, but is running about 2 laps, actually about a second and a half slower than the leaders. So he's going to possibly go a third lap down here in that 04, but leaders they pitted last on lap 22, Matt, so they can go to about lap 52 or so, which to me, I believe this means probably still a 2-stopper to the finish, unless somebody's trying to really stretch their fuel mileage and see if they can pull a 1-stopper out of their hat. But I'm just not sure what the mileage is going to look like to do that. So we got to be careful, Max. Our group chat right now on the YouTube, I say there's some dad jokes going on over here. So we might have to be careful, because I say someone's saying if you're yelling already, you'll likely be pretty hoarse. So, but HORSE.
As long as they ain't busting my chops, I'm good.
It'll happen. Give it time.
They probably would.
Oh, we had a moment there for Jack Walls there. You see his smoke off the background there. Let's go back and check what happened to Jack here, because he had definitely a little bit of a moment. You see the leaders going around Ambrose Nabel, but watching Jack Walls in the 83, and once again just caught that yellow and white line here. You're going to see that truck just go for a little slide. Quick hands, though, by Jack. He catches it. We'll go back live here and see, was Jack able to get back to the lead pack? Not yet, but he's only a second back. He's actually starting to tick the right way towards Todd Siebel's. But yeah, so right now, Matt, I think the thing we're learning is you really don't want to touch that seam in between the apron and the banking, because that's been really upsetting these trucks.
Oh yeah, it's a difference in banking between the apron of the racetrack and, of course, the actual apron of the racetrack. It will definitely unsettle your car, and I've done that a time or two, and it's not fun, but it's very easy to do.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and like you said, very unsettling as well. But remember we talked about that potential swap over and leading the second lane? There it is.
I was waiting for that 32 to slide up there. Yeah,
we'll see. I'm going to say Seth's never one to pass up going to that second and third lanes, but he seems pretty content at the moment. So now Honda's going to try to return the favor for Jacob, get Jacob a bonus point for a lap led as well in that 21 truck. So we'll watch that 21 and the 43 right now as you see that Mission 22 truck there working that second lane with the 43 behind him. But like you said, though, right now they just don't have that third truck, and that really felt like that was what helped propel them that first time around, is once Seth went to them, it really kind of pushed them further forward. So we'll see if Seth decides to maybe try to jump again, but he may have saw last time where once they got it, they went back and rolled back. So he might be thinking, you know what, I'm just going to keep saving here.
The game no more. Oh, almost a little bit of contact between the 071 and the 43 there. Entering turn number 1 there. That's just a little bit sign of the tires wearing there, Gaio?
Yeah, I think it is, because, again, we pitted on lap 22. It's lap 45 now, so they've got a little over 20 laps on their tires. So I think this is about where people were having trouble last time as well. We saw that was about where that spin happened before, was in about that 20-lap window. So I think that's exactly what we're seeing is it's around lap 20. That might be where the tires start to show their age and their wear. And that's going to force some decisions to be made here on the screen on this potential green flag pit stop. do you go for track position with 2 tires, or do you say, I need to make sure my truck can handle and drive well with 4 tires? It'll be a slower stop, but I might be able to make that ground back up on track. So there could be some strategy at play here in this potential soon-to-be green flag pit stop.
What I've seen here in the past, 4 tires did prevail. Maybe one time 2 tires have prevailed, probably because that was just maybe a one-lap shootout, but the long run, I'm going for 4.
Yeah, so I'll have to keep an eye on. For Mama Groover, Seth is cruising right now in the 8th position. I say he kind of helped some drivers get to the front a little earlier. Now I think he's just kind of in cruise control, waiting to decide when to make another charge to the front. But I think for Seth, I think he's probably waiting, honestly, until that pit stop cycle. I think he's just kind of biding his time. Like I said, with them pitting at lap number 22, I was hearing 30 or so laps on fuel, so I would suspect probably about 50 to 55 is the rough window. But I do feel like the pace is significantly dropped, Matt. So I'm wondering if these guys are going to try to see how far they can stretch it, because the fastest lap I've seen on the timing and scoring throughout the race was about a 29.70, and these guys are right now running 31 teens, so about 2 seconds slower than what they can run. Kind of tells me that the pace has definitely dropped a little bit.
I think I'm hearing people pitting on the radio. Might
be about time. This might be a split strategy here. Say, hey, let's pit now. We can go to just kind of split the last one and even. So we'll see if we see any drivers duck off to the left. We'll try to see if we can get a.
I think Jason is pitting here. Yep. He definitely got to fix that damage as well.
Yeah, you can still see the damage on the front of that 10 truck. So we'll see if he comes in right now. Leaders yet to make their first pit stop. And again, this could be an opportunity for that 21 here, is if those leaders do pit, he could take advantage and try to get a lap led through the pit stop cycle. So we'll keep an eye on him for that one. And it looks like second pack actually, they still stayed out. So, but I do think that we're starting to get into that window here, Matt, because this time by is going to be 40 to go. And I do wonder if these guys can go another, 5 laps. If they can maybe go 35 on this stint, can they then go another 35 on the next stint and run Kevin Freese's favorite style of racing? And that's going to be some fuel mileage racing. We'll see if that comes into play.
I think that accomplishment of the 43 and 21 trying to get Jacob that lap lead, I think it kind of diminished, and they're going to try to find their way to get down to the low line, because pit stops are coming here very shortly.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that those pushes they were doing to try to get to the front, that's going to burn a little more fuel, so that could hurt their fuel mileage as well. So there's potential that maybe going for those lap sled could have hurt them as well. So like I said, I'm going to be very intrigued to see how early or late some of these drivers pit. As I saw for a moment there, I think I saw Seth Groover jump to the top, so I know he's actually jumping back down. So, but yeah, I feel like with the pace of this race, like you said, we're continuously kind of dropping a couple tenths here and there. It's now down to 31.30s. That 3 truck pack for Frank Ranger Jr., with just the 3 of them, they're running 31.60. So the pace is definitely slowed up here. And I think that is because I think these guys are watching that fuel gauge. I think the crew chiefs are saying, hey, if we can make one less pit stop, that's going to be our way to win this race if we stay green.
I'm thinking about 2 to 3 laps here, Gael.
So let's see. I mean, again, they pit on lap 22, 23. That's under caution. We're on 54 now. So again, that's about 32 laps roughly since they pitted. And I see some drivers jumping up top now, and I think this is probably Charles Johnson. Yep. So watch
leaders this time.
And we got the 32 just kissing the wall there. 32 is going to try to cut in. This is where it's very scary to get in and out of pit road. Here comes Jacob Lee. Here comes Hondo Longmire. Oh, I think Hondo just kissed the cone there if I saw correctly. We'll see. But hopefully able to get through clean or not. But right now, so you can see, lost a lot of time through that. But now we'll jump back up front now, because we got to see how much further, can these leaders go? Because if they can go a couple laps further, this could be very, very important for them. As you can see, the 510 pushing that 32.
Yeah, for all it's worth.
Yeah, Seth he wants to pit from the front. And yeah, here you go. Look at this. They're able to go at least 2 more laps than the leaders. This is big for that potential one-stop strategy.
Oh, Richard can't get down there, but
I think Seth's trying to stay committed to him.
Yeah. I am confirmed that 88 and 071 are pitting this time, so it's not going to hurt them. I think they're going to go one more.
Yeah, so this will be pitting it. Yeah, here comes Gabe Butler. This is going to be pitting with 34 to go. He's going to bring Eric Laurie on with him, along with Jack Walls and Todd Siebels. Oh, it's Todd Siebels. He's going to try to go. Great save by Todd here. And then this group here continues to go. And unfortunately, I can't confirm it was a pit penalty for that number 43 of Hanno Longmire. Just leaving pit road now, but he did have a stop and hold. So, yeah, a tough one for him. And then we'll see where everybody cycled out in relation as well after that pit stop. So, but right now, though, we want to see this front pack because here they all come. And this is going to be a bigger group. Oh, we got trouble in the back there. Caution is out. Nick Wing, I believe, had some contact on the pit road entry. And his slide basically brought the yellow out. The question now is going to be who was on pit road as the caution flew. We may see some drivers drive through. We might see some drivers get services done to their trucks because this is where things get a little bit kind of confusing because pit stops or caution during pit stops really kind of shake things up. Ryan Decker said, I don't want to take the chance. I'm going to roll through here. I'm going to try to pit the next time around. So hopefully he has the fuel to do so. But yeah, this is going to really, really shake up the running order in this race here, Matt.
Oh, yeah. Here you got a few drivers that get caught up a lap down just because of that yellow. But I think they'll be the beneficiary of the waiver out here. Charles Johnson is I think our timing and scoring is scoring him as a lucky dog. Am I correct there, Gaio?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm going back and taking a look, and yeah, it's just the 04 getting into the back of the 28 while he was trying to check up for the pits. So actually a really good save by Nick Wing here. And what I think we're going to see is right there, so you can see where the caution lights are on. These four trucks, Bud Steele, Austin Call, the 48, and the 510, those trucks for sure were not in pit road or committed to pit road before the caution came out. So those trucks will, if they pitted, would be serving, I believe, a pitting under closed pit stops, or I'm not sure what the penalty might just be end of longest line. But this is where the admins are going to have to get really busy here because right now I'm showing the 510 as our race leader, along with these Austin Call, Nick Wing, Bud Steele, and Seth Groover. And then Ryan Decker on pit road now getting service done to his truck. But yeah, so right now it's showing pretty much Jack Walls on back here, being all of these trucks being on the tail end of the lead lap, which I believe they would get the one wave around on the one to go. So yeah, this is where things get a little confusing. I think Seth Groover was the lucky dog, if I'm not mistaken, as I see him cycled back up to these guys. So this is where we get a little confused. And as I said, unfortunately, the admin's probably in the same boat here. So we got to kind of just let everything cycle around. I am showing that the 10, the 56, and the 43 are all one lap down as they run. And although I'm seeing a bunch of trucks here that were on the tail end all hitting pit road. So I'm a little... Yeah, I think they're trying to get things sorted back out here. Austin Call's going to stay out. But this actually might be a fuel strategy. I'm not 100% sure. But now I want to see about these wave around trucks, if anybody's able to go. And yeah, so there goes Jack Walls, the 10 truck, Jason Bogart. Charles Johnson should be waving by. And it should pick up the 10 of Austin Call as our race leaders. So, yeah, so I'll say we'll see how it all shakes out. This is going to be an odd restart, to put it lightly, because I'm still showing about, I think at this point now, 8 trucks on the lead lap. Yeah,
I'm showing 10.
I think Gabe Butler, who's the second truck in line here, is actually showing trapped 1 down as they run. So we'll see if the admins have to throw yellow to get things sorted out here. But right now it looks like we're going to pretty much have a single file restart here, Matt, with the 64 being our leader and having zero pressure behind him for the next position for spot is Richard Sanchez right there. So yeah, cautions during pit stop cycles, like I said, they definitely kind of cause a little bit of chaos. And so that's kind of what we got right here. But what we can confirm is that we right now are showing, I believe, 7 or 8 trucks on the lead lap. and then 9th on back being a lap or more down. So we're going to restart this thing, Matt, with 30 to go at the line, and it's going to be interesting to see how this one shakes out. Right now, Austin Call will be our leader. Like I said, timing of the yellow really kind of shook things up. I think drivers are going to be trying to get black flags cleared or trying to get everybody sorted out. You can see everybody's trying to get situated here as we get back to green here, though. 30 to go. I think what we'll see here is an aggressive Gabe Butler and Eric Laurie. They're just going to try to go ahead and get around that 64, see if they can get their laps back the old-fashioned way, not even worry about a lucky dog. And then it's going to be Jacob Lee who's going to be trying to follow them as well. So right now I think that 64, he's going to feel like a lonely guy because everybody's going to just pretty much plan to ditch him here. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So right now it's 3 trucks that have gotten to the tail end of the lead lap. The next would be in line would be Bob Fitzgerald there to do the same along with Todd Siebel. So yeah, it's a little bit chaotic, and it looks like right now everybody's still on track. I wasn't sure if we'd have any penalties for drivers not being in line correctly. But yeah, so right now it's the 64 truck, Austin Call, our leader, Rick Sanchez second, Seth Groover sitting in third. These 3 trucks in front of him are the tail end of the lead lap with Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, and Jacob Lee. And then we have a handful of trucks 1 or more lap down. Again, just some for pit stop miscues, some for the cycle of green flag pit stops and the caution in the middle of it. Just unfortunate, kind of. We have that from time to time in sim racing, and this is another one of those where it just, it kind of really shakes the running order up. So now the question is going to be fuel. We saw everybody go at least 30 laps on fuel, but again, we talked about how slow the pace of the race dropped as well. So I think there might be some management between speed and fuel mileage, because I think right now Austin Call is thinking, I'm just going to let these guys, they can stay at tail end lead lap, I'll let them push, and I can save fuel. Richard Sanchez, now he's gotten to the back bumper of the leader, so that is 1 and 2 nose to tail. Next line is going to be that McDonald's truck. That will be our 3rd position truck of Seth Groover. Actually, no, it's going to be Jack Walls and DHL truck here getting by him. So, yeah, so right now everything's kind of a little bit bouncing around right here, Matt. And you can see right there the 45, Todd Siebels again. He's going to try to get his lap back as well, but he's going to need some more help right now because he's having to try to do it by himself. We saw earlier the 88, 071, and 21 able to work together. And then, unfortunately, the 08 Bob Fitzgerald, he's kind of fallen back after trying to get himself further up, too. So, yeah, that caution is just really kind of completely thrown the complexion of this race where things were to where we are now here with 25 to go.
Yeah, it's actually throwing a monkey in a wrench. I'm not sure if these drivers were maybe a little bit of iRacing scoring issues, maybe?
Well, I mean, that's definitely a known pit stop, or caution during middle pit stops has always been a bit of the thorn in the side, I feel like, of this sim. So that is definitely a possibility as you start to see it. Now we're starting to see that second line try to form. And again, these are some of these guys that want to try to get at least one of their laps back. So I would expect to see some of these drivers that are a lap or more down to work their way forward. That being said, though, the 04 is one of those trying to do so. Charles Johnson's actually on the lead lap. I think he's just trying to find his way to get further forward in this race at the moment. So right now, the drivers that are still trapped a lap down. First off is the 10 of Jason Bogart. Now, that truck looks like either got fixed or got a fast repair taken on it. Bob Fitzgerald, Todd Siebels, those are the 3 trucks, 1 lap down. And then we have 3 trucks as well, being 2 down, the 43, the 17, and the 56. And then 3 down, the 04 of Ambrose Nabel, unfortunately. Oh, I think the 28 just had a big moment there coming through the tri-oval of Nick Wing and still trying to get settled back out here. But that truck does not look very comfortable right now.
Oh, yeah, he hit the inside wall coming through the tri-oval. Maybe a little bit of a miscue there. But he's gathered back up. It was a pretty hard hit.
Yeah, to see possible wheel damage or suspension damage to that 28. Looks like he's able to hold the draft at the moment. But yeah, so right now, like I said, the top three of these drivers are tail end of the lead lap. Our leader still sits as that 64 truck. And then you see all these trucks right behind. These are for position with Austin Call, Rick Sanchez, Jack Wells, Bud Steele, Charles Johnson. And then you have to go a little further back here to find Seth Groover. And kind of a little surprised to see Seth as far back as he is. He was right up there a moment ago, but he's actually dropped back a couple of truck lengths here, sitting in sixth. Not sure if this is maybe a fuel mileage strategy or if he's just kind of was in the wrong lane at the wrong time, but he's right now probably not where he wants to be as we've got 20 to go here.
Still got a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely a lot of time, and it's going to be interesting because what do the leaders do here? Because I mean, if you're Austin Call, at some point you might have to get a little bit racy to protect your lead from Rick and from Jack and company. But at the same time, I really don't expect Gabe, Eric, and Jacob to kind of just roll out of the way because again, even at 2 to go, if a yellow comes out, they're back on the lead lap. They got a chance to win this race. So I really don't see those three rolling over for the leaders here, and nor should they.
Neither. No, not at all.
But it's just going to add a wrench here because I feel like kind of honestly for Austin, wherever he goes, I feel like Rick will probably go the opposite way because that's going to be his best chance to win. If Austin stays low at some point, Rick will jump top. If Austin tries to run the top to get around those guys, then Rick will take the bottom lane away from him. So this is going to be a bit of a cat and mouse game and a little bit of chess, if you will, of where do you want to position your truck. And remember I was worried about where that 32 truck was?
I think he found his partner.
He found a friend.
Yes, he did. And they're coming to the front. They're actually doing pretty good progress here.
Yeah, they were about 0.4 of a second quicker than the leaders that last time by just the two of them. And we've seen them work well together, but look at Rick. I think he saw that. Said, yep, this is my time. I want to jump to the top. I want to get that momentum. You see Austin, he's kind of committed to the inside line, and that's going to be where the question lies. Where do you go here? And the answer for Austin is really kind of nowhere. You're kind of trapped behind those guys. So now it's going to be Rick Sanchez. He's going to jump to the front here, leading this race now. But this is also now where Gabe and Eric and Jacob, they're probably going to start pushing here a little harder to try to make sure they don't fall a lap down here to that 5:10 or the 32. So this is where everything starts to get a little dicier, a little more antsy, Matt, where everybody's just going to start to push a little harder, draft a little closer to each other because they know it's about time to make the right move at the right time to try to win this race. And like I said, for Gabe and Eric and company, they're racing for all they're worth to make sure that they stay on this lead lap here.
Yeah, what do? Do you block the top? Do you take the top? Make sure the lead. You want to stay on the lead lap, but at the same time, I mean it's not a competition issue, but it's more like I want to stay on the lead lap, and my teammate's behind me, and he's gonna be trapped a lap down, you know, and.
I mean that could be a strategy, like you said, Matt. Because yeah, if Gabe decides to run the top in front of Rick, that would allow him to basically. Ooh, as you see, Eric, it's a little tight there on entry. That could be an option where basically it could allow one of them to be the leader, or sorry, the tail end, and the other one be the first truck one lap down, depending on where they are lined up here position-wise. But the answer is going to be here. Rick's going to clear. No, he's not. He's going to stay pinned to the outside line there. I thought for a moment he looked like he cleared. And look at the move here by Ryan Decker. He's actually now cleared to the inside lane in front of 21 here. So
I like his spot.
This is a strategy call now. He said, you know what? I think this outside lane might fizzle at some point. I want to push the 071 and the 88 because now I'm the first truck on the inside line that's on the lead lap here. So this is a strategy move that could be a potential race-winning move here for Ryan Decker.
Huh. I never thought of that. That was actually pretty smart. Let's just wait and see.
I'm guessing Caitlin probably told him that strategy. Is that she's probably his crew chief going on right now. But yeah, Matt, we're down to it here. We have 12 to go at the line. Right now, again, it's the top two are the outside line there. The first truck on the first two trucks on the inside line are either a lap down or tail end of the lead lap. Oh, it was Charles Johnson. I thought for a moment was going to collect into the 48, but he slots in right behind him. And again, too, with the pace of this race, we don't know for certain that fuel's out of the question in this one. They pitted at lap 59, so it would be just about 31, 32 laps here on fuel. So
it's pushing it, Kyle. That's right on the cusp.
Yeah, they were backing their pace down earlier. The pace has definitely jumped back up a little quicker than what they were, and they're also about to hit some lap traffic here. And this is going to be where things get scary. As you can see, more and more trucks here are starting to abandon to the bottom lane here, Matt. As here they come up on the 17, and I believe what's the other truck in that group? The 56. This is where things are going to get a little tight here through the tri-oval. So we got 10 to go.
Yeah, it's scary. There it is. A 64 right in the wall.
So far, no yellow though, so we stay green. But yeah, Austin's hurt there, unfortunately. Wasn't able to catch it as it happened, but through all that cycle though, for a moment there, Ryan Decker was leading this race, and now Rick's going to try to work back to the outside. You see Bud Steele now going to try to hook up with that 510, because again, we're down to it here, under 10 to go here, 9 laps to go.
What a tough break for Austin there.
Yeah, you see Austin now on pit road, and it looked like for a while, I mean, the way that the caution fell and where he restarted, like everything was looking perfect for him. But yeah, he's now unfortunately on pit road, unscheduled final stop for him. And it looks like he may have retired in this one. So tough break for the 64 truck here with only 9 to go. And right now the 64 just a nose ahead. But again, does he stay committed to these two in front of him? Or does he at some point say, okay, if I'm clear of Rick, do I want to jump up top in front of him? But then again, who's going to be the next truck to take that spot on the inside line? Right now it would be Seth Gruber. So this is a very interesting strategy point in this race, as Caitlin's chiming in, is hoping that maybe this win, if he can win this race, he'll put him in a good mood and take the night shift with the newborn. So,
oh god.
So I guess for Caitlin's sake, we got to be the biggest Ryan Decker fans here with 7 to go here at the line. But yeah, right now it's Ryan Decker still leading side by side. For second is that 510 and the 32 now in the mix. You see also the 9 of Charles Johnson. Oh, a little bit of possible contact between the 32 and the 6. Now they get lined up together. But yeah, you can see everybody's starting to sort themselves out. And Ryan's, again, he's kind of now pinned to the inside here. So he's going to be really reliant on how well Gabe and Eric work together here to try to stay a nose ahead of that 510. And right here at the line, it's by hundredths. But I think still Ryan led at the line there with 6 to go. And again, they have to get to the white flag before this race will be official. If there's an incident that brings out a caution before then, that would put us into overtime with green-white checkered finish. So, like I said, this thing is not over by any means right now. We still have 6 trucks in this lead pack going for the win here tonight. And right now it's Rick Sanchez just a nose ahead here of Ryan Decker. And like I said, Ryan's got competition with the 88 and the 071 in front of him. And it's really anybody's guess right now. It's kind of which lane surges first, I feel like, Matt.
Oh, well, I think right now that outside line is starting to creep up ever so slowly. But my question is fuel going to be an issue?
Yeah, that's still lingering too. We don't know. Maybe Ryan's running the bottom side because he's able to save fuel behind that 071, the 88. Rick up top here, he's probably had to have his foot to the floor for a good chunk of this race. So is he good on fuel? As you can see now, the 32, Seth Gruber giving him a big push down the front stretch here. I think he's ready to go. And now you can see the way it's all cycled here. Now it's Rick with the lead, this 32 in second, and now Ryan Decker falls to third. Could be even Bud Steele sneaking to the outside for grab third spot. And then Jack Walsh, Charles Johnson right there as well.
I think we've got a car pitting in. Yep. Charles Johnson can't make it.
All right, that's our first blinker, is Charles Johnson could not make it on fuel. He's on pit road with 3 to go. What do the rest of the field have? Have they saved enough fuel to make it to the end? Or did Charles Johnson have to pit a little earlier before the cautions, and that may be where he didn't make it? Because we did see a lot of guys top off, Matt, on that one, on that caution under yellow. So this is getting intriguing. Like I said, we're going to come around here. 2 to go, and again, it's not official till the white flag, so we still have to get 2 more clean laps before we get that white. Now 1 more clean lap as we got 2 to go. So right now it's the 510 and 32. They were ahead of the 48 at the line. That would be first and second, Ryan Decker in third. But again, that inside line starting to push pretty strong once more here. So We'll see, can Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, can they give Ryan Decker enough edge to get to the front? Ryan's going to drift up a little bit in three here. He's going to
A
try to
little
settle
bit
it
here.
back down,
Yes, sir.
but he's
Oh,
losing
man.
ground.
Yes, he is.
All right, Matt. White flag is out. So the one to go here right now is still Rick leading the way. Seth Groover in second, Bud Steele trying to grab third away. Now Ryan Decker is going to surge back into that third spot, trying to get second away. Can Rick hold onto it, or will it be someone else's? We got one truck coming out track. He's going to drop to the apron there.
Thank you.
One more set of turns here, Matt. Will it be the 510? Does he have the fuel? Will it be the 32? Will it be the 48 late charge?
All right, look at this.
Coming to the line. Oh, it's going to be Rick Sanchez.
And nose.
Oh,
Wow.
half a truck length there, about 300ths of a second. Rick Sanchez is going to win the race here at Atlanta. Ryan Decker is going to bring it home second. Seth Groover in third. Bud Steele, Jack Walls rounding out our top five. And you can see that the 88 and the 11, the 80 and the 71, they got to run one more lap here because, again, they're still going for that. They're the tail in the lead lap. So they stayed on the lead lap, so they got to finish this lap up as well. They will finish in 6th and 7th. But it's going to be this man right here. Rick Sanchez is going to win here at Atlanta. What a crazy finish.
That's a sweep for him. He won on Thursday, and he comes here and wins on Sunday.
Now he's going to be a happy camper in that 510 truck, as he celebrates at the front stretch here. And so he's got some tackle to sell, it looks like, on the back of that truck there. Can't even see the back of the truck anymore because it's completely covered by the smoke from his burnout here. As we'll continue to watch him burn it down.
Wow, that was close. That was almost a race-winning move by Ryan Decker there.
It was a gamble. But I really liked the gamble, and yeah, it just didn't quite pan out for him. But a really, really good effort there by Ryan, and you see a great look at that 510 there. But yeah, so Matt, let's go back. Let's go ahead and watch one more time here. We'll watch we'll watch as they come through to take the white here to pull up our final results. So you see the 510. This is where they're coming to take the white flag as we pull up our final results with Richard Sanchez taking the win by 300ths over Ryan Decker. Seth Groover there in third. Bud Steele, Jack Walls 4th and 5th. And then we can mention Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler stay on the lead lap, just didn't get the caution that they were hoping for. And then a bunch of drivers, unfortunately, getting caught out by the untimely caution. Just couldn't get the recovery that they were hoping for, like Bob Fitzgerald, Jacob Lee, Nick Wing, Charles Johnson, that late pit stop for the 9. Todd Siebels, Jason Bogart, Honda Longmire, D.L. Lemon, Ambrose Nabel, Frank Ranger Jr. And unfortunately, that incident towards the end for Austin Call winding up making him retire from tonight's event. So that's race one done, though, Matt. Crazy way to end this one. Again, the timing of the yellows. But we got to start chatting with some drivers, and that's going to be – so Mom's going to be ready for this first one here, and that is going to be that 32 of Seth Groover. I think you already got him queued up here, Matt.
Got him.
All right, let's pull up that McDonald's 32 of Seth Groover. And your mom chimed in late. She's like, "Where's my kid at?" And I was like, "Well, he's kind of just cruising right now." But really, the turning point of tonight's race, I feel like, Seth, was kind of that caution in the middle of the green flag pit stop cycle. And that's it's always when that happens, it just kind of throws a huge wrench into, am I in the lead lap? Am I not? Am I lined up in the right spot? And then it was kind of almost that plus then the fuel mileage window, because you guys were right on the edge of making it to the end. I mean, how much stress was there where, did I make it onto pit road in time? Did I not? Then if I top off, is this the right time to top off? I mean, what's going through your mind at the timing of the yellow and then just kind of all the things surrounding it?
Yeah, the yellow, it kind of, I don't know what happened. Everybody ended up a lap down for some reason, and I don't know what that was all about. But I thought it screwed me, but then it actually put me on the lead lap. So, because I got the pitting when the exit or the entrance was closed, so that was my penalty. But other than that, yeah, I just felt like I wanted to push Richard there on the top line. I was talking to Bud Steele before you brought me up here, and I need to I need to apologize because I moved up on him when I wasn't clear there, and I'll go back and chat and tell him for sure.
Well, I mean, it was a really good race, and to say we had mentioned too that I mean, you really don't know how it's going to shake out until things get going. I'd say if I'm not mistaken, I say unfortunately, kind of your part time schedule wasn't able to allow you to run for the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, that's not going to say. But the thing is, I mean, you're still going for the race wins and for the best result you can. I mean, do you race these any differently knowing that the playoffs are kicking off, or do you just race the like? I mean, because again, I mean, everybody races each other really well here at this league. I mean, do you do anything different as a non-playoff driver, or is it just kind of like, hey, yeah, this is what's going on, but I still got to get the best result I can? Or I mean, take us through kind of how you
Yeah,
treat these.
I definitely, I definitely don't push it in the beginning or the middle when I'm not racing these guys. But yeah, I pick my opportunities very carefully so I don't upset anybody. But at the end, you got to go for it, and you know, that's about it.
Well, I mean, it was a really, really good result for you, though. Like I said, getting that runner up, and like I said, you're able to put yourself in position to have a chance there, but you're able to push Rick there to the win. But so yeah, before we let you go though, and chat with some of the other drivers, definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shout outs for that podium
Yeah,
tonight.
yep, definitely gotta say congratulations to Richard there. I think he won one of the races right last race for Area
Yeah,
51.
he won Thursday.
Yeah, he's on a roll, man. But but yeah, I gotta congratulate him and thank you guys for broadcasting. I love going back and watching them and say hi to my parents.
All right, well, great job tonight, Seth, and looking forward to seeing more of you, man.
All right, yep, I'll be back.
Yeah, see you, Seth. Be care.
Yep.
All right, so then we gotta jump over to our runner-up here, and like I said, we gotta hope that he's in a good mood still, though, Matt, because I say we chatted with his wife a little bit during the broadcast, and we thought that was maybe the move to win the race was to get to the inside there and go where the other leaders weren't, and it almost worked out for you there, Ryan. I mean, was that the goal? Was like, hey, I just got to be where they aren't, or did you feel like just I mean, what was the game plan there to try to make the move to win the race here tonight?
Well, I was gonna kind of ride behind Gabe and Eric because I mean they're always the class of the field, and it sucks they got trapped a lap down. I mean, it'd be nice to race it out with them. But anyways, yeah, I was down there just to ride it out, and then hopefully find a lane somewhere on that top groove within the last couple laps. But I think Seth kind of nudged his way up in there to gave Bud a little shot and kind of made a hole, and then him and Richard got together, and then we didn't have the numbers because I think me, Jack, and Bud were kind of working together to get one of us the win. I don't care who it was, but that was the plan. Just kind of ride it and chill and wait until the last lap to make a move.
No, I mean it was still I mean obviously a great result to kick off the playoffs to get the runner up tonight. But the important question though is how good of a mood are you in because your wife is hoping that you might take the night shift tonight.
Oh, heck no. Listen, I got to work tomorrow. She don't. Well, no, she's got to drive to Cincinnati. So I don't know. We tend to kind of help each other out whenever she's tired, I take over. Whenever I'm tired, she takes over. So I'm sure she dogged me the whole time on that race chat, though. I guarantee you that.
No, there's definitely a lot of root. You had the right paint scheme on, so she was rooting you
Yeah,
on for sure
I
tonight.
listen. This is the first. Well, I went 2 races with the other paid scheme, didn't do anything hardly, and now that I'm back in the Cincy Toyota, I mean, here I am, top 5 again. I'm keeping it from now on. Don't worry, Caitlin.
But no, like I said, I mean, a great run, Ryan, especially like I said, to kind of kick off the playoffs, get a really good result because it's not a winner take all finale or anything. It's the best of the 4 races. So, I mean, to come home runner up, I mean, do you look at the playoffs at all, or you just kind of do race by race, just try to get the best result you can and don't even really worry about the points until maybe the finale?
I just take it race by race. I mean, as long as we stay consistent, I think we'll be all right. As long as one of us gets at least has a shot to win it. I mean, I'm happy as long with either me, Bud, Nick, or Jack, or Austin. As long as one of us gets in there to win it, I'm good with that.
All right, well, great result tonight getting that runner-up, man. Before we let you go, though, definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts for that result tonight, man.
Yeah, thank Caitlin, family watching. Um, Without her, I wouldn't be here doing this. Like to thank y'all guys in the broadcast booth for putting this on. Y'all do a wonderful job. Was it 4D Racewear? Is that our
It is,
sponsor?
yeah.
I am, damn, because you gotta always thank sponsors and everything. Cincy, Toyota, all that's nice, lovely jazz stuff. Anyways, y'all have fun, enjoy. Hopefully, it was a good race to watch.
Great job, Ryan. Look forward to seeing more of you, man.
All right, see ya.
All right, that leaves us one driver left to chat with. He's had a lot of fan support on the broadcast here on YouTube, so I'm sure they want to have a chat with him. That is going to be our race winner in that number 510 of Rick Sanchez. And Rick, I mean, it was eventful for you. You had a lot of stuff going on, and then the caution in the middle of the pit cycles, obviously. But I mean, you were kind of one of the guys up front most of the night tonight. And then obviously things changed over the course of the pit stop cycle. But then the big strategy call was basically after that yellow, do you pit and take the top off of fuel to make sure you can make it to the end, or do you go for the track position? I mean, how tight was it for you to make that call of pitting versus staying out and making sure you don't get kind of messed up with the potential? Because I mean, iRacing, when there's pit stops and cautions, it kind of breaks everything. It feels like, but I mean, how are you managing the decision there?
It kind of threw everybody a lap down. That was, like you said, kind of a messed up deal. I wished everybody would have been there. Would have been a little bit funner, if we were all fighting for that position at the end. But yeah, it seemed like we ran pretty good right until the greens, the pit stop time, and then we have yellow. And but other than that, it seemed like we were running pretty clean out there, everybody.
And was that a tire wear thing? Did it feel like after you kind of ran through almost a full stint on the tires? I mean, did it feel like that was where you were giving up, or was it not? Like I said, you were in clean air a good chunk of the race tonight. I mean, was it one of those things where if you're up front, it was good, and if you're in the back, that's where maybe it didn't drive as well? I mean, what did you notice as you were kind of going through the race tonight?
I really didn't seem to have a problem anywhere. Once you get second or third, you really got to kind of lift going in the corners. And somebody that maybe not be as used to this track, if they're not lifting going into the corner behind the guy in front of them, it'll tend to push them up, And then that's when they start saying, "Well, my tires are going, my tires are going." And it's like, no, you don't have. It's kind of an arrow push.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed like there was some balancing that had to be done with making the truck drive well. But I mean, just about a max points night for you tonight. Obviously, getting the win, having an incident-free race as well. I think the only things you weren't able to get was either the pole or the highest climber, along with the most laps led, which you were only off by 7, I think, on that one. I mean, is that one of those ones like you kind of like, all right, I ticked all the boxes, needing to kind of do everything I could to try to maximize all the points I could tonight?
Yeah, I was just my main thing was, okay, get a top 5, just consistently these next 4 races, try and stay in the top 5 and put yourself in position at the end there. I really wasn't too worried about, okay, let me get a point for leading a lap, let me get a point for this, or let me get a point for that. It was just a good top 5 finish, and think about that on the next race, a good top 5 finish.
Well, I love the strategy. And I mean, like I said, you played it to perfection. You had the right lane at the right time to get there. Obviously, like I said, it was kind of a mixed bag of trying to fight drivers trying to fight and stay in the lead lap or be lucky dogs. You never know, obviously. But you were in the right place at the right time to make the moves to be in that position to win the race. So I mean, a really good job. We had some fans for you tonight as well, hopping on YouTube here. So definitely want to give you the floor and for any thanks and shouts for that win this evening, sir.
Shout out to Area 51, obviously, for putting on a great league. Shout out to Green White Checkered, always putting on a great show for everybody. Shout out to all the drivers putting on a good show, and shout out to my wife, Annette. That's Netsby out there in chat. And I think my mom and my brother get on there too sometimes. So shout out to them. And my sister. She's out there somewhere.
Well, we'll let you go celebrate with the wife, man. Great job tonight, Rick. As like I said, Matt said, you've been in a bit of a roll, winning on Thursday, getting the win here tonight on Sunday. So hopefully things keep working the right way for you, and you can maybe go after both titles here this season, man.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, shout out to your dad too. Hope to see him back here soon.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
See you, Rick.
Later, buddy.
All right, Matt, that is our race runners. He's still somehow doing burnouts in that number 510 truck here. Rick Sanchez getting the win tonight, and it was, like I said, it was an eventful one tonight. But as I say, it's just again the timing of that caution right in the middle of the pit cycle, right in the middle of fuel window, and it was only 2 yellows tonight, but that one yellow really kind of changed the complexion.
Yeah, it really, like I said, it really upset the running order. Maybe iRacing maybe had a little bit of a scoring issue there, but it is what it is, Kyle. It's sometimes iRacing will be on your good side, sometimes iRacing will be on your bad side, but lo and behold, Richard's got another win. Now, he's been struggling to get a win for the past couple of weeks, and now he's on a roll. It's now he's on fire. Can anybody stop him?
Yeah, I mean, we got 3 more to go. We'll be back next week at Daytona International Speedway, followed by an off week for Thanksgiving, and then finishing up the first 2 weeks of December at iRacing and Talladega. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Obviously, we got to kick off the playoffs coming up on Thursday night as well, back here at Atlanta. Boomer Logan, I believe, will be calling the shots over there. So always fun to watch him put on the show that he does for Green White Checkered TV. So, Matt, as always, a pleasure doing these with you. And again, always want to thank everybody for watching, supporting, cheering on your favorite drivers here on Green White Checkered TV. We love to be able to do that for you all, and it makes it a lot more fun for us as well. So until next time, we will be back on Thursday night. So as always, stay safe, take care, and until next time, have a good night. We'll see you all on Thursday.